At a time when kings fought for power and generals spilled blood without mercy, there rose a man who was remembered not just for his sword, but for his heart. His name, Salahuddin Ayyubi. But listen, this isn't just a story of battles. This is about a man who lived by the Quran, a man who prayed on the battlefield, who showed kindness even to those who hated him. Yes, he recaptured Jerusalem, but more than that, he never let arrogance touch his heart. To understand him, we need to step back, almost 1,000 years, to a time when Jerusalem stood in the middle of a storm. The year was 1095. In Rome, the Pope declared what he called a holy war.
In the name of God, I declare this a holy war. Go forth and reclaim what is ours.
The First Crusade. Tens of thousands, knights, peasants, kings, marched toward Jerusalem. They believed they were liberating it from Muslims. But in 1099, after a brutal siege, they stormed Jerusalem. And then came one of the darkest chapters in history. Men, women, children slaughtered. Blood ran in the streets of a city that was meant to be holy. For almost 90 years, Jerusalem stayed under Crusader rule. They built castles, they established kingdoms, and many thought this would last forever. But destiny was preparing someone else. A boy, unknown, quiet. But soon, the world would remember his name. Salahuddin Yusuf ibn Ayyub, born in 1137, in Tikrit, Iraq. The very night he was born, his family had to leave the city, almost like a sign that his life would never be ordinary. As a boy, he wasn't drawn to the sword. He loved books more than weapons. He studied Quran, Hadith. He admired scholars more than soldiers. He once said, "I never desired kingship or power. I only wanted to study and serve." But Allah had written a different path. As a teenager, he followed his uncle Shirkuh on campaigns in Egypt. At first, he was quiet, almost shy, but people noticed something. This boy could organize men. He thought ahead. He inspired loyalty without even trying. Step by step, responsibility found him, and in 1171, Salahuddin became the ruler of Egypt, founding the Ayyubid dynasty. When he rose to power, many doubted him. But Salahuddin surprised everyone not with cruelty, but with justice. He reduced taxes on the poor. He built mosques and schools. He supported scholars and united divided Muslims, Sunnis and Shias, Arabs and Kurds, Turks and Persians. Unlike other kings, he lived simply. He ate bread and soup, slept on a mat, and wore humble clothes. Every decision, every battle, he began with prayer. Even his enemies noticed. They said, "Salahuddin is different. He is a king who prays at night and leads in the day." He truly lived by the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's teaching. The leader of a people is their servant. But peace never lasted. The Crusaders still controlled Jerusalem and continued raiding Muslim lands. One Crusader leader, Reynald of Chatillon, became infamous. He attacked caravans of pilgrims, killed innocents, and even threatened to invade Mecca and Medina. For Salahuddin, this was the final straw. He knew a decisive war was coming. That war came in 1187, at the Battle of Hattin. The Crusader army, led by King Guy of Jerusalem and Reynald, was strong, but Salahuddin was patient. He cut off their water supply in the blazing desert heat. By July 4th, when the two armies clashed, the Crusaders were exhausted and thirsty. Salahuddin's strategy worked, their forces collapsed. Almost the entire Crusader army was destroyed. Both King Guy and Reynald were captured alive. Here, Salahuddin's true character
was revealed.
Reynald, who had killed Muslim pilgrims, was executed, fulfilling justice. But King Guy? Salahuddin spared him, saying, "It is not the custom of kings to kill kings."
This balance of justice and mercy set him apart from all rulers of his time.
In 1193, Salahuddin fell ill. He had ruled vast lands, Egypt, Syria, Jerusalem. But when he died, he left almost nothing. No gold, no treasures. Not even enough money for his funeral. Why? Because he gave it all away. In the path of Allah. He was buried in Damascus. And, to this day, people of every faith visit his grave, not just to remember a warrior, but a man of justice, a man of mercy. So what do we learn from Salahuddin? That true leadership is not about crowns or castles. It's about humility. It's about service. That, even in war, humanity should never be lost. That the strongest are not the ones who take revenge, but the ones who forgive, even when they have the power to punish. More than 800 years later, the world still remembers him. Not just as a Muslim hero, but as a symbol of honor. And maybe, just maybe, this is the kind of leadership our world needs today.
If you like more untold stories, please like, share, and subscribe.